Hey guys, maybe your first time using a Jamboard, or maybe you just don't understand how to show your work. Maybe you have really bad handwriting, you're using a trackpad, you don't have a mouse. Just some helpful tips on this assignment and future assignments possibly on how to be able to show your work and make it be legible. So over here we have our assignment, or our problem we're going to solve. And then after that, we're going to show how we got our answer and if it's right. So the first thing you're going to do is, the teacher might tell you, draw a line. If you click over here on the pen, it'll let you draw wherever you want. Control Z, hopefully you know that is undo, right? Or there's the undo button up here. If you click on the pen again, you can choose a different color, and these give you a different thickness on how thick it is. So like if I went to paintbrush and I said, let's say green, you can see it's a much fatter line, right? So if you're using your trackpad, another thing I've seen students do, especially if it's smaller, to be able to write better, is they would zoom, I'm going the wrong way, they would zoom in, and it made it a little bit easier for them. I'm using a mouse right now, so a lot easier personally with a mouse. So let's just say the teacher said, draw your line through here. Now it might not be a straight line perfectly, and it might take you a couple tries. Maybe, ooh, sometimes it slides. So undo, fix it, right? Make my other line. Now the next piece, it's really hard with a mouse or a trackpad sometimes to write what you want to do. Again, this is me with a mouse, and that turned out pretty good. Sometimes it's horrible. So the other option you could do is, instead of trying to write this part, click on down here on this T, which is a text box. Click up here where you want to write, and it says -4. And in algebra, we know we're doing the adverse or the opposite, so we're going to do +4. And then I'm going to press space a couple times, because whatever I do on the left, I want to move it over to the right, so I do the same thing. So I put +4 again. Now, I can highlight, that was weird. I can highlight it, click on the edge of the box here, and you can go up here to the A at the top, and you can change what color it is, right? So let's just say I wanted to show my teacher, oh, look, I, in blue, added 4. Now, if you want to make it bigger or smaller text, font size, click on the corner dot, click, hold, and drag. Out makes it bigger, in makes it smaller, right? And then if you click and grab the blue line, you can move it wherever you want. Okay, so then I said, okay, I show them my work. I added 4 to both sides. Maybe you want to switch back to the pen real quick. I want it to be thin, and I'm going to show with a red how I cross off. This is all gone because it equals 0. Now I'm going to go back to text box. I want it to be black right now. And I'm going to show what I'm left with. I still have 7D, space, 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 equals, space, space, negative 67 plus 4 is negative 63, right? Then I'm going to grab here, drag it over. I kind of want it bigger so everybody can see it. So I'll drag the corner, move it back over. Now it says 7 times D, and I know it says times, so the opposite to get rid of that 7 would be divide. So what I would do, you could put a division symbol if you want, or the easiest way to show a divide is click here. Again, I'm showing blue on how I'm doing all my work, so I'll stick with blue. And remember, a line underneath just means divided by. And whatever I do to the left, I do to the right. So now I'm showing what I'm doing, but I want it to be legible. So I'm going to put another text box, and I'm going to put 7, a bunch of spaces, 7, a little bigger. And then if you're a perfectionist like me and you don't like this 7 looks great. This one I want to move over. Just click back in the text box, put a couple more spaces in, make this a little longer so it fits. And that looks pretty good to me. Now, again, I want it to be blue because I'm showing this is what I'm doing. There we go. Switch back to the pen again. Click it again. I can click red. And I'll show how my 7 divided by 7 is 1. 1 times D is D, so the 7s are gone. And for my answer down here, I can put D, space, 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 equals, space, space, space. Negative 63 divided by 7 is negative 9. And that's going to be my answer. So I want to make it bigger. Or maybe I want it down underneath my line so it's easy to see. Let's make it a bright color so it's easy to find. And then the last thing I've had a lot of my students do is they take this circle and they put it around their answer so it's easy to spot. I want it to be transparent inside. Transparent means see-through. There's nothing on the inside. And then I also want that to be red so you can spot it. And there you go. I just showed using a Jamboard how I got my answer. I showed all my work. I showed here's my answer. So then when you come over here to check yourself, it means you're going to take your answer you got and plug it in where D was. So D was right next to the 7. So I'm going to put a text box there. I think the answer is -9. Just shrink this down. There we go. A little delayed. I'll put it in that space. And then the next one, I'll just add another text box. And that 7 times -9 is -63 minus 4 equals -67. So I showed them step 1. I actually did this right here, the 7 times -9. Step 2, I'm going to do this. -63 minus 4 is -67, which equals -67. A lot of kids, when they see this, check your work, they say, I don't even know what you're trying to tell me, Mr. Lance. So literally all you're trying to do is show that the answer you got, when you stick it in there and you solve this left side of the equation, does it come out to the end and equal the same as the right? If it does, you just prove that, hey, the answer I got works because -67 does equal -67. If I would have came out with, let's say, -52 equals -67, that means, I did something wrong. So I just checked myself and realized I'm wrong. I checked myself so I didn't wreck myself. If you wanted to, you could put a circle around that to prove it or whatever. I will put, because I'm fancy, I'll put a green check mark. Good. And there you have it.